Heavy is the head. I see them both throwing. I'm too full with it. I gotta keep going. Kobe with the wins. You niggas just ennobling. You winning on me, cousin me. Let's keep.
Back to an episode of the You Weren't There podcast. I am, of course, your host at Mia Was Here 5_. And of course, the podcast is You Weren't There podcast. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, follow us everywhere. Got a few guests with me today. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about emotional intelligence. I think it's an important conversation because a lot of us don't have it. A lot of us are getting our advice off, well, not me, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of people getting their relationship advice off of social media. So I think it's important to have a female as well as a male perspective in terms of that conversation. So we're going to go around the room, let everybody introduce themselves, and we're going to get right into it. Robin?
How y'all doing? I'm Young Robin. My social media is at YNGROBIN for all of y'all that don't know. But I'm from the PG County, Maryland area, but currently I reside in Jacksonville, North Carolina. I am a rapper, singer, producer, so I'm an artist that kind of does it all. I started in music around 2012, but it's been a lot of start and stop, but I am now turning that page to where I'm being more consistent now. So this is one of them things is I'm turning the page and being more serious with my journey. So I'm happy to be here. It's an honor because honestly, I feel like you're doing a good thing with this podcast for real. Mm-hmm. So I felt good that you hit me up and was like, do you want to come on the podcast? Because honestly, for me, I feel like I got a lot of ground to make up in a sense. So I am stepping into that stage now where I really want to be taken more serious.
Okay.
So
respect that. It's a good opportunity for you to do that.
So it felt good to be called up in a sense to be like, hey, do you want to come on the show? So that's why I jumped on the opportunity. But with that being said, I got a lot of music coming, a lot of visuals coming as well. I don't want to be too long-winded, but just know that I do have a lot of things coming. So
respect. JR?
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm JR The Witness. JR The Witness on all social media, or JR Mozart if you found the music somewhere. I'm a photographer, rapper, producer, author, poet, just a creative in general. I've been doing photography for maybe 14-ish years. The first major project was Mia's actual first major project, Inauguration. I did the album art for that and the album cover work and all that kind of good stuff. Been connected with, the DMV area for as long as I've been here. I'm a born and raised DMV native, husband, father, and all that good stuff, and just trying to, do the right thing and stay out of jail. So, yeah, just trying to get my input as much as I can, and hopefully I can help as much as somebody else can help me. That's all I got.
Mo?
My name is Mo, shot by MLB. I'm also a videographer, photographer, writer, director for PG County. Next year will be my 10th year shooting. So
happy early anniversary.
Thank you. So yeah, I feel like with me, I done everything from like hood videos to Biden's inauguration.
Web shows.
Everything in the middle. Web series, just a couple short films, stuff like that. So, yeah, that's it for me.
Don?
What it do? My name Don Rico. Social media is _Don Rico _ that's DONRICO. I'm a man of God, artist, husband, father, native Washingtonian, born a baby, but to be specific, a human development.
I had to tell us he was from Southeast. God.
Yeah.
Nah, that's facts. That's facts. I mean, which is like, what we represent here. We're all from some facet of this area. And I think to be from here is to be unique. Is to be unlike anybody else in the world. I think that we're a special group. I think the way that we see the world is different just geographically based on where we sit, right? It's unique living in a city that got like so much hood shit going on that is also the center of politics.
Yeah.
So I think that tends to make us a little sharper. It tends to make us a little faster. We tend to, to process information a little differently than people in a lot of places. So I always think it's important to mention, that we're like natives here, right? And that our understanding of this area is deeply rooted because like we really come from this.
Right.
So it doesn't bother me at all. You know what I mean? So today we're going to let Robin tell us a couple of things as far as like his music. So you say like you have not been taking your music serious. Is that accurate?
Yeah, it was one of them things where I really sat down with myself and had to look myself in the mirror. It was like there are some things that wasn't our fault, but at the same time, I got to take ownership of this also because this is something that I want to do,
Right.
and no one else is going to do it for me. So I just kind of had to, just eat that and just change my perspective and change how I was doing things. So over the past, I'd say 2.5 years, that's what I've been doing. So now I'm pivoting towards a positive direction of actually doing what I feel like I should have been doing all along.
Which is what?
Putting out the music I should have been putting out a long time ago. I was following behind people that really didn't know what they were doing. I realized that. And then in turn, I was like, well, I wasn't kind of educating myself either. Like I was kind of just like blind in it and was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just follow them and they'll lead the way because I put so much trust into them that I didn't think about, no, I need to know this for myself. So now I kind of have that perspective now. And also I didn't mention this, but I also have a group called Legion of Rebels. That's we're a collective right now, but my plan for it is for it to actually be a label. But with them, they are around the age that I started this as well. So I want to be kind of like a beacon of light for them to kind of like help them out. So as I'm learning, I'm giving them advice as well. Like this is what you should do. This is what you shouldn't do. So
now that's important. I think like especially here, like I remember like as a young artist, there were so many, I ain't gonna say no name, but there were so many collectives, if you will, who were taking money from unknowing artists, giving them advice and information on, how to kind of maneuver the industry or whatever you want to label that as, who were not giving you anything that was of value. So they was taking like $150 a piece from artists to sit down and tell you should get a Shazam, you need a BMI, you need an ASCAP, like shit that you really like kind of walked in the door now. And so I think like what you're saying is important, like your mission is important because there are a lot of people, and I can't speak for any other areas because I'm not from any other area, but I know in DC specifically, if you are not sharp, if you are not like on your pivot with regard to whatever your business is, it's very easy to be taken advantage of by people who see you more as an opportunity or a money grab than they see potential in like what it is that you're trying to create. Right. So like what you're doing is important, it's special, it's necessary because there are a lot of people who are more than willing to take advantage of artists who don't have like that initial information, banking on the fact that like they're gonna be maybe too lazy to try to figure those things out themselves.
And I definitely was a victim of that also. So that's why like I wanna have it to where they don't have to deal with that side of it. Of course they're gonna have days or just in general where they have to learn themselves. It's gonna always be something. Yeah, they gotta learn themselves, but I don't want them to have to deal with that per se.
Nah, I get that. Yeah. But I think like your mission is important, honestly. Because again, there are a lot of people who would take advantage of artists, who have taken advantage of artists, knowing that they didn't know any better and knowing that they weren't necessarily going to seek out that information themselves, or assuming that the situation they were being put in as far as getting that information would be deeper or would be more meaningful. So I think if you kind of like, and that's with anything in life, if you start off already having done a portion of that research yourself, then it makes it a lot harder for people who are only giving you crumbs to take advantage of you because you walk into that door knowing like, well, no, I already knew this and this is not helpful. So, you know what I mean? So information is power. It's important. And, being willing to give people that, I think it says a lot about you. It's, like that's good character as far as I'm concerned. Because there's a lot of people like, they like, oh, they they don't know that, bet, let me sell it to them.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? Like, and it's a lot of y'all that took advantage of artists like that. I ain't gonna say your names, you know what I'm saying? But you making dinners and shit now, so congratulations. What you end up doing. But, you know, but honestly, legitimate question. When it came to, when you look at kind of like your artistry, right? And like what you didn't know, what you weren't able to accomplish, were there like personal factors that contributed to like kind of like what you didn't know or how you got taken advantage of, or was it just circumstance?
Yeah, I feel like it was kind of a little bit of both, because when I really started this, I was probably like around 21, 22. And the group that I was running with, it was more than just like me trusting them on the business side. I looked at them kind of like as fam or as brothers. So you good, bro?
It's big goofy ass nigga. I've never been here before. Stop being goofy. Shut up. All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
It would have been even worse. Does that not give you more leg room? What might not be considered?
Like this.
Don't move. You're interrupting shit.
But it was more so just like more so than the business. It was kind of like brotherhood in a sense. So I put my trust into them, thinking that they wouldn't lead me astray the way that I was led astray. So it was like one of them things where I appreciate it now. Of course, during the time, like it hurt, but I appreciate it now because it just taught me like you can't always just blindly trust people.
You know what? That's like a perfect. I could not think of a better segue. That was a perfect segue. Because the reality is like, any emotional turmoil that you're experiencing as a human being, it reflects in all of your relationships. It reflects in your friendships. It reflects in your romanticized situations. Any relationship that you're engaged in, they're going to be mirrors of each other a lot of times. So if you lack something internally, that tends to be reflected in terms of like the kind of relationships that you carry on, right? So you carry on things for too long that you should have been let go of, or you hold on to baggage for too long that you should have been worked out. So I think that's actually like kind of a perfect segue. When you look at like where you desire to be personally, right? In congruence with kind of like your professional career, does a woman fit into that?
I feel like she does. I wouldn't say at this present moment, because I just feel like it's a certain point that I need to get to for myself. Like I'm in a position right now in my life to where like I kind of want to focus on myself from what I have gone through.
Okay.
Like, cause I've been kind of, you know what I'm saying, situationships and things like that. So I'm like, just focus on myself for real.
So I have a question for the married men on the panel, right? I often hear men say that. I often hear men say like, I need to get to where I need to get to before I can like focus on a woman. I think something that I grew up on with my father was that now your mama is who made me who I am. And so I think I hear that very often with men that, well, I need to get to where I need to get before I could focus on a woman. And I think a lot of men end up missing so much of their purpose, so much of their blessing, so much of what they are designed to be, because the right woman prepares you for those things, helps you get to that place. But I think we do live in like a culture and a time where we've forgotten how much we need each other. And we've like kind of shifted to this like...
Everybody's gotten I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, that's perfect. Go ahead.
Everyone's gotten exclusively selfish. And what I mean is everybody's out for number one, but everyone says that they care about everybody. It's not I'm dating. You can be dating with purpose, but you still only care about number one, which if it's only you in the relationship, if you're the only person that you care about in the relationship, it's gonna fall easily. And speaking as one of the married men in the room, I met my wife on Bumble, and a lot of people were like,
shout out Bumble.
Shout out to Bumble. Look, they gave us mugs and all that.
They gave y'all mugs?
My wife reached out to Bumble, told him our story because we met in October of 2018, and then COVID kicked in. Like so we went 4 months like dating outside for real, and then March of 2020, I guess 2020 kicked in. Was like, yeah, everybody inside. Can't go nowhere. So you really get to know somebody. Really want to be somebody.
Facts.
I mean, we weren't living together. We were close enough in area time and all that. But you really got to know if you like a motherfucker when you stuck in the house and can't go nowhere. So I mean, it led to later on, getting out of the pandemic, getting married, getting engaged, having my daughter. Thank you. She's 9 months old and going crazy in the house right now. But yeah, I mean, I think looking for a partner, if even if that may not be your initial goal, I think it always helps when the person, whether it be male or female, make it easy. And don't just say, oh, I see what you're doing on your little side hustle with your music or whatever. Oh, but we doing this over here. It's like, nah, I'm a creative first. Right. Which, I mean, a lot of relationships don't last through the creative process in either capacity. It's like, if they're doing shows too often, they're doing photo shoots too often. You book, you traveling, you maybe with people that may not be so savvy around her or vice versa.
Or that people don't take your dream seriously.
People don't take your dream seriously.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
they take your dream like it's a joke.
Everybody looks at it like it's no I mean, you can make money, but that's a once in a month thing. That's a once in a quarter thing. It's like, nah, but when you start making money once every week, it turns into a whole nother issue. Or it turns into, oh yeah, we got money now because he doing this or she doing this. I mean, it's like I said, it's a blessing to make it easy, and the blessing for somebody to not only give you ideas on how to advance like your career or stuff like that, but just how to advance and advance your life. Like for real, when I met my girlfriend, now fiance, now wife, I had no college degree, none of that. Hadn't moved out of my people's crib, so I was home working, making X amount of money at the time. Within that 4 to 5 months or year span, going back to school, got a degree, moved out of my people's crib. And it was like living on my own for real. We weren't living together, but just being able to live on my own. And that's another thing where it's like, you can selfishly set somebody up to only be to your benefit. But if you have to really know the person to know that it's not selfish of what they're doing. Sometimes it may seem like a nag. Sometimes it may seem like, oh, when are you going to, move out of your parents' house? We see that with Love is Blind right now. So it's like, but now it's like.
Shit show, by the way.
Absolute shit show. Can't stop watching it. But it's like, it's how, how your faith aligns with the person. It's how your heart aligns with the person. Because it's like, at a certain point, you see everything as somebody trying to nag you and get on your nerves and all that shit, you're never going to move out. You're never going to advance anyway. It's not, and that has nothing to do with romanticism. It's just, if Mia was hitting my phone every week saying, hey, we're going to go for this run, and she hit me up every week saying, oh, we ain't talking about running, and I'm like, I don't want to fucking run. Like, man, why are you trying to do this? It's like, no, we're trying to hold you accountable. Just accountability is a big thing when it comes to creative. And it just helps us keep us organized. So why can't we do the same thing in our relationship?
I think men do forget that like your wife is designed to be your helpmate. That's biblical,
for sure.
Right? So if she's not helping you move further along, then you're right. She shouldn't be there because like she's moving contrary to like her literal design. But I do think like we live in a time where and I'll speak from the female perspective, where a lot of my men, I feel like they have forgotten the importance of a helpmate, and they have forgotten the importance of an accountability partner and of somebody who knows you well, because nobody know you like your girl. That's just the truth. You don't let anybody in quite the way that you let a woman in. Everything changes when you sleep with a motherfucker, right? And it like you don't know him until that point, really. Right. So, like, I think we've kind of like gotten away from the necessity of partnership, and we've sort of moved into this like, well, if you're not helping me get, it's not about like partnership is about us helping each other get to where we need to be, not you selfishly like putting your needs first and assuming that I'm just supposed to fall in line with that. Like, and sometimes I think what people forget is that partnership is not 50-50. No, right, and the only people think that is people like the dude who wrote the book. We're gonna get into that in a second, but I think people always assume that partnership is 50-50, and that's not true. Sometimes partnership is 90-10. Sometimes partnership looks like, can you love me more on the days where I'm not capable of it? Can you love more on the days where I don't love myself the way that I need to? That's partnership. And that's really where like I think a good partner, a good woman can help kind of like lead and guide into what your purpose should be under God. But I think we've gotten so much to the point where it's like, If you ain't paying my bills, I don't want to deal with it. Yeah. If you ain't giving them no coochie on me, I don't really want to. And we've forgotten that, like, no, like, you should take some time to get to know a motherfucker before you get to, like, putting your private parts together. I mean, that's the truth. And I think so much of, like, why things are so weird now is because women do have maybe some more standards than we used to back in the day. Coochie used to be free, and now it doesn't seem to be anymore.
It's still free depending on who you are.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Right. Also depends on what you consider to be payment, but you know that's another subject. But you know, for real. But I think we've gotten away from partnership. We've gotten away from the concept of like, no, we need each other. Like it's not about like me helping you to get to your dream and then you abandoning somebody, which I think is a lot of women's fear. A lot of women's fear is that like when she helps you become who you were designed to be, you'll forget Kanye. So I mean, you know, that's just my perspective.
Another thing too, though, like to piggyback off what you just said, right? Like most of us, well, most men forget that women are supposed to be the helpmate, right? And so with that though, right, we always want women to try to follow. Like you gotta follow me, let me lead, but we ain't even put down the structure for her to follow now. You see what I'm saying? So it's possible to do both. You can pursue artistry and you can be married. Just get your wife the plan. You see what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, that's the person who's going to multiply everything that you got going on.
And you said something very important, like the concept of submission, right? Which is ultimately what that is. I think that women have forgotten about submission because we have become more independent, right? I was in this very studio last week, and there was a show where the gentlemen on that show, 2 40-year-old niggas who's single, were talking about how to get a high value, it's true, how to get a high value, high earning man. Mind you, both of these niggas are single, right? And the guy who wrote a book about how to get a high earning, high value man has not been in a relationship longer than 2 years since he was in his 20s. This guy's in his 40s, right? These are the people giving you this advice. These are the people going on your social media telling you what you need to be doing to attract a partner. People who cannot attract a partner. So it's very important to know who you are and to understand, like, I think the rules and parameters of godliness when it comes to like these type of situations. A woman is designed to submit. And I know they all hate to hear that. Don't beat me up in the comments, man. Don't beat me up. Don't beat me up in the comments. But a woman is designed to submit. That is true. However,
there it is.
Let's clarify what that means.
You have to be submittable.
No, submittable. No. And also that a woman submits to the God within a man, not to the man. And that's what y'all have forgotten. I submit to the God within you. Because if you are leading with godly leadership, then I know you ain't going to lead me wrong. But you being out here wild, reckless, sticking your dick in every single thing moving, running up Howard Homecoming at 45 years old. You niggas weird. You know what I'm saying?
Is there an age limit on going to homecoming?
Yes, there's an age limit on going to homecoming. Absolutely. You are, if we're not talking about, I'm serious about this, because we're not talking about the alumni events. We're not talking about the event specific to your sororities and fraternities. We're talking about you niggas 40 and 50 years old up here looking for a young joint, more than willing to be a sugar daddy, looking for something. And you know why you looking? You know why you 45 years old? Let's get to it. 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 There's a reason you're 45 years old and looking for somebody 20. It's because the women your age have no interest in you whatsoever because you lack emotional intelligence. You got a bag. I'm serious. Hold on. You got a bag, but no emotional intelligence. You got some money, but no real intellect. Nothing to offer. You got a couple dollars and a house and a car, but you are a terrible person with minimal character. That is why you're looking for somebody young, who is easily moldable, who is easily manipulated, who is impressed by the flashy and the shiny things, because she has not grown into who she has been designed to be yet. So yeah, the flashy things are attractive when you're 21 years old. As you get older, as you mature, as you gain more emotional intelligence, you realize that substance doesn't lie in no shiny things. And you start to look for something that is more substantive. But you 45 years old, you ain't graduate from no goddamn university. First of all, what the fuck are you doing up there? You 45, 50 years old, you didn't graduate from that university. You might have been on that line 30 years ago, but you don't know none of the niggas running the line right now. You unmarried, you got a bunch of kids who needed your attention this weekend. Lil Devon got a football game, and you up here, fest. I have a problem with it. Now, there's a difference between being affiliated with the alumni events and going because you are part of that culture, because you are part of that community, and you value that culture and community. There's a difference between that and you bringing your old ass to Yard Fest. You should not be there. You are old enough to have children the age of them girls, and you only want them because the women your age don't want you. And I know, young and pretty and perky, and you're making yourself think that it's all about how she looks. But the bigger issue is that the women that you should be having conversations with know that you have nothing to talk about. They are unimpressed by what's on the inside of you. This girl is only looking at what you offer on the outside. She don't care about what you got going on the inside because she's young and she's 20 and she got a million options and she will have those options for the next 15 to 20 years. But you need to impress somebody in order to be able to get them close to you. Because the moment that women get to know you, they don't like you. And that's the truth. And that's not just a Howard Homecoming thing. It's a lot of guys in this area, 30 and 40 and 50 years old with girlfriends at Howard, paying tuition and providing stipends for these joints because women your age won't touch you because there's something wrong with you in here and in here. You know what I mean? But that's just my opinion on it. You know, like, what do I know, really?
I just have one question. Did you see one nigga do this?
Yeah.
It's not so specific.
That's the craziest thing.
That's how you talking about one dude.
I do have... I do know.
Your offense is 45 years old, but your son playing Bowie and Bowie's how homecoming is today.
No,
so it's like you not at your kid game right
facts.
now.
Yeah, that's
he
right.
running for that touchdown and you chip. Oh shit.
He trying to touch that.
About you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, man. I mean, and I'm not gonna say you can't, like you said, you can't not enjoy it. I mean, you can enjoy yourself for sure, but
There are
is a
things
time
for
and
the
place.
adults to enjoy.
Right.
No
like,
question.
Like, dog,
With that reason.
With that reason. Like,
With
okay,
that
how homecoming having a mixer at fucking, I don't know, Pocket 14th. Go to that. It's Thursday evening, you be home by 10 o'clock, put your kid to bed. You can't be out here 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, but y'all 45 years old up there at y'all fest
Yeah,
and you
you
looking
wild.
around and
That's wild
giving your
shit.
man the elbow
Yeah,
when a certain it's disgusting. You are disgusting.
And
Let me
even
tell you,
thing-
it's something wrong with you on the
Wild.
inside and you need to talk to God about that.
And the
That's
crazy
real.
thing for me, like, even though the age limit is whatever it is, that's still borderline pedophile to me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's nasty.
grown-
You 40, you want to
You're grown. You're super grown.
You could be
That's,
like that.
like that's the definition of you
You
are
could be
a
like
grown
that.
ass man.
You could be that girl.
Like, I'm 32.
Yeah.
There's nothing that nobody in college can offer.
Not a damn thing.
Yeah.
Not a thing.
So the fact that I see homies, you know, grown as on
Yeah.
like my age and up,
Yeah.
man, y'all going up. I went to Howard, bro. I'm not going.
Right. You be there right now. Right. Yeah, like, what's the
I
point?
went there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I got a wife and kids, bro.
Right.
I got a family. I got real
Yeah.
responsibilities. Niggas got to go to work. All that.
Niggas gotta go to look.
outside.
That's the big thing. Niggas gotta go to work.
Ain't saying, don't even know how to clean her stuff, right? You try and get up in that jump.
I'm telling you. But you know what? You said something, right? Like, I think responsibilities. There are a lot of men and women, right? Because this is not just something exclusive to men. There are a lot of people in their 30s and 40s who have no real sense of responsibility. Yeah, you own a home or an apartment and you got a car, but you don't have any real responsibility in your life to make you accountable where you see the errors in these things, right? Your only responsibility is to yourself. And as a result of your only responsibility being to yourself, there is a natural selfishness that gets created. Something that we never talk about is when you single for a long time, there are natural selfish tendencies that develop as a result that you need to work your way out of. And that's something that people never talk about, and it's something that people often don't know. You've been single for, in the case of the weirdo who wrote that book, 20 years. And in that 20-year period, you have grown to make your life about yourself. And so now you're reading all of these books on history and culture to make yourself more intelligent, to have these better conversations with higher tier women. Don't talk across the board. Don't make me correct you in here. But Real talk. Like, there's a problem with that. You need a sense of responsibility at every level of your life. And I'm not saying that you got to get married or have kids sooner than you're ready in order to accomplish that level of responsibility. But I think when people have been single for long periods of time, the selfishness that develops in them, it creates a natural focus on yourself, because that's kind of what you need to do during that period when you're alone. If you're going to be alone anyway, you do need to focus on yourself and what your goals are and what your desires are, and figure out who it is that you desire to be, who it is that God wants you to be, and then move based on that. But it's people that have been single for so long that they don't realize that everything is about them now. And really a lot, as a result of making everything about you, about what you want, about what your desires are, about what's good for you, about what's good for your life, you push away people that probably could have been good for you, that probably could have helped you move into that next phase of your life, or you end up sabotaging situations with people that could be helpful to you because your life has become only about you. You don't realize it, and you don't know how to work yourself out of it.
I think when you become when you're single too long, I think it negates whatever purpose God had for you. Like you said, you become incoherently selfish. You only focus on, I need the big car, I got the big crib. Not even having nobody around you. I feel like, it's not saying you don't have a job, because niggas need money to live. Right. A lot of motherfuckers value money. And
but when you're only responsible for your emotions, it can turn into that very quickly.
It can turn into that. Your purpose is extremely diminished when you don't have anybody to,
because all about your own happiness, for sure.
Because I mean,
you have all of that nice stuff, but you going to a big empty house.
Look,
hear the echo.
Look,
that's crazy.
Look,
I'm alone. Like shit.
I was a guy, bro. I never, before I got married, before I even met my wife, I never was the guy that thought I would be married. I thought I was gonna be a single dude that all my men dating with a different bride. I ain't want no kids. I got 3 beautiful children. I'm married, and I can't imagine my life without that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it grew me so much. You know what I'm saying? Like, even, my wife, like, she grew me up, dog. Like, I was, you know what I mean?
Look, I know.
You know what I'm saying? It's just a different level of growth because of that accountability. You know what I mean? So I have.
And I think we forget that. It's easy to forget that. Like, that's another point of partnership is to help you grow.
Some people don't understand the growth when you get into a relationship with somebody that they may not have seen for you. It's, you with her again? You with him now? You used to hang out with us now. It's like, that's cool. Still love y'all to death. But my path is different now. And it's not simply because of her. It's, she's helping. She's helping me really envision it. She's helping me move it along. And she helps. Like, it's like you said, it's all about support. It's all about being there for somebody. Support is the biggest thing. Me and Mel do shoots all the fucking time. It's some shit is hard to do by yourself. Absolutely. Like, that's the thing. You can't do, I've done weddings by myself and it's going to kill me. With 2 cameras? With 2 cameras, hanging around the neck heavy, just shooting, just running around, chicken with your head cut off. But it's like, damn, if I just had one person. I went to a wedding one time, my wife was like, I'll shoot the bride getting ready. Okay, cool. Didn't expect it, but you know what? Perfect. That's the thing. It's awkward. But it's like like I said, you become selfish, you negating your purpose. And at the end of the day, you're going to lose it. Like I tell everybody all the time, if you're not using your purpose, whatever the fuck God, wanted you to use it for, or you just saying it's too much time or you ain't got enough time to do it, it's gone. Like I tell people all the time, there's a difference between finding time and making time. And with, you know what I'm saying, with a wife, with children, you have to, at that point of your purpose, you can find the time. You got to find the time. You got to be intentional, but you got to make that shit count. Because it's like, at the end of the day, if you go 8 hours and don't work on nothing, then it's like, okay, my purpose is gone for the day, or the day's over. Yeah, I got to do this. I got to do other shit all over again.
But the other value in understanding time is like not fooling yourself into thinking that you have forever.
You got 24 hours like everybody else.
You don't have forever.
You might not even have that.
For any of it. You might not even have that. For any of it. You have right now, and that's it. You don't have forever to figure out your purpose. You don't have forever to generate and implement a plan for that purpose. You don't have forever to get rich or whatever your goal is before you find a significant significant partner or before you even start looking for one. And you also don't have time to be wasting other people's time while you figure yourself out.
Yeah.
Let's not waste people's time.
Waste people's time
while you're trying to figure yourself out. And that's with anything. That's with business. Yeah. Don't be talking to people about the services that they provide if you're not ready to put down a deposit on the thing. Right. Don't be in these situations where you dating and sleeping with everybody around you, wasting everybody's time. Oh, we could be cool. We gonna be good friends. Knowing that you don't want nothing serious, knowing that this person would like something more serious, and messing around with people. God is counting the hairs on the heads of those he loves. I mean, don't
ask me how much I charge for a shoot if you're not ready to put down a deposit. I don't want to talk to you. And if you don't give me that deposit within 72 hours, where the camera at?
Y'all heard that from the professionals, right?
Within 72 hours.
Y'all heard that, right?
I'm not showing. I can't see. Within 72 hours, I'm not pulling up. Don't hit my phone within 3 hours of your shoot asking, oh, we still shooting today. No, I done made other plans. I done found another shoot, and I done found somebody who's going to pay me on fucking time.
You know what the truth is, though?
Sorry.
People's bad habits, and I said this, people's bad habits bleed into everything that they do.
Yep.
The same bitches whose time you waste when you fucking them is the same time you waste at your job. You spend all day doing nothing, sitting around wasting time instead of doing your assignments and implementing your projects. The same time you waste with the people that you messing around with, you'll waste that when it comes to everything in life. Your bad habits bleed into all the things that you do. And that's something that, like, I think people like to put things in little boxes. They like to put them in little pockets. Like, oh yeah, well, I'm irresponsible and reckless when it comes to other human beings, but not about my business or my money though. There is no way for all those things not to catch up to you, Diddy. Everything done in dark, everything done in the dark, it will come to the light. You do not get to waste people's time, people's money, people's energy, or people's hurts, feelings, and emotions and think that none of that is coming back on you.
Yep. Right.
It does not work like that, because I don't serve a God like that. That would let you repeatedly take advantage of people, repeatedly use people, whether that's business or personal, and think that there's no problem with that, which is why we're talking about it today. Emotional intelligence, that comes in line with everything that you do. When you understand who you are under God, when you understand your purpose, when you understand the potential and the gift that he's put inside you, you will stop wasting so much motherfucking time. Because you don't have next week, next year, 5 years from now to meet that right partner, or to start that business, or to take your music more seriously, or to treat your wife and children the way that they deserve. You don't have time. Don't fool yourself into thinking that because you are immature, that means you can't start getting ready. Don't fool yourself into thinking that because you're not currently doing this and because you having a time of your life being a lustful fool, that you got all your life to find the one. It's a lot of niggas right now with regrets because they waited too long to tell the woman that they wanted how they felt about it, and she waking up to the nigga who ain't wasting no time right now. Yep. Don't waste your time. That's in anything. When it comes to your artistry, when it comes to your job, your path, your purpose, and how you handle yourself, don't waste your time. And that's the thing. When you wasting other people's time, you wasting yours too. You didn't escape none of that.
Everybody's time got value, man.
In addition to that too, I feel like men oftentimes make excuses, right? I'm waiting until I get myself together. Here's the thing. You put all your work into yourself, right? You finally reach where you want to go. Now you're a millionaire, multi-millionaire, billionaire, whatever your idea is. Right? And now you don't want no woman because you don't trust nobody.
That part, I was about to say that, yeah.
Like, you setting yourself up for failure. It's like it's really just an excuse.
It's an excuse, so you don't gotta do it.
Put the pressure on now. Like, you got the pressure now because once you get it, you ain't gonna want it. And now you saying you ain't got the time for it and you ain't got it. So like, just say you don't want it. Right. And if you don't want it, then that's cool. But you got to be real with yourself. Like, too often we lie to ourselves about stupid.
For sure. You know what? That's a good segue. Y'all ladies, y'all got to stop lying to yourselves too. Yeah. Right? Because the truth is, you deserve honesty. You deserve the truth, but you ain't necessarily gonna get it. What you deserve has nothing to do with what you receive. And just because you don't get it doesn't mean you didn't deserve it. But don't keep wasting your time on somebody who has clearly shown you in every other non-verbal way that they don't want this. And you continue to let them waste time and years of your life hoping that one day you'll be good enough. You never will be. Because that male or female, you ain't never going to be good enough for somebody who ain't ready and don't want you.
That's
you know what I'm saying? But that happens a lot too, where women like convince themselves that like, if I I did more, if I had been more patient, more understanding, if I had cooked more, if the sex was better, you can have all those things and he still don't want your ass.
Yeah.
It is not you. If he not ready, that ain't got nothing to do with you. That's all about him. And you gotta be wise enough to let a man figure all of that out before you get to like throwing all your feelings in that. A helpful hint would be to stop giving him the coochie the first day you meet this nigga.
Yeah.
It got real quiet right there.
Yeah.
But that's how you know it's true.
Nah, because that changes
Changes everything. It changes the dynamic with him. Not to say that there aren't men that you could do what you do on the first night and he's not going to respect you and want you just the same. But you don't go with the outliers. You go with the majority.
You start thinking.
Yeah.
Thinking some things.
Yeah.
Am I for real or?
That's the thing. Is
You
the
ever
ego.
been for a one night stand?
Yeah.
Like being confused, thinking something was.
Yeah, like thinking maybe.
You have?
Maybe.
Yeah.
See, I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah.
I don't drink or smoke, and I don't even remember their names. Like it was just that was it.
Wow.
Well, he built different.
And that
Tell me.
That's that you base. I'm not.
I done been around for a long time.
He said, I ain't influenced by none of that.
Thoroughly. So for me though, yeah, like when it was one night stands, man, I don't. Nah.
Don't even think about it.
Like yeah, I don't even.
Heard it here first.
It'll probably be a situation like if I bump into him or something, and like you look familiar, but I don't know when. Like I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like
And they be like, remember?
Because I got a question. I think this is a good thing to go around the room, right? So one night stands, you don't even remember them. You got confused one time. JR, you ever had one?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did it change anything? Like, did it make you like her more or less? Did you not care? Like, what was your vibe after it?
I mean, I was single at the time, so it kind of. I was like on the fence with like, all right, if it don't turn into nothing, cool. Yeah. If it do turn to something, cool.
Okay, so open to it, but not necessarily in pursuit of it.
Nah.
Okay, fair enough. Robin?
It didn't really do anything. Like it was just
Didn't
that.
move you at all.
Like it was just that for the moment, but then it was like, all right. Like,
You know what the pattern here is? Not a single man sitting up here said that he would wife you after that first night. Not one. You got one who was a little confused because he emotional. And you got one who's open to it because he that type of guy. But overall, it didn't change. You know what I'm saying?
Like I didn't say that at all.
Like it didn't. No. I'm just saying, like, didn't mean anything. Maybe. There wasn't a single yes in this entire circle.
Right.
That's the point.
yeah.
Not a single person sitting here said to themselves, you know what? That might be it.
But that's a rash. But it's a rash decision.
It does happen.
It does happen, but it's a rash
We're
decision.
not talking about the outlier.
Yeah, it's red.
We're talking about the majority.
Define one night stand for me.
One night stand is you hit in this.
You mean wake up here and dip? Or
No, not necessarily like a link up. We ain't talking about somebody that you didn't know. We're not necessarily talking about somebody that you didn't know. We just talking about somebody that you didn't know. A one night stand is like I hit and it didn't really mean nothing because I don't have that type of situation with you. We don't have that type of.
Oh yeah.
I'm just making sure.
Yeah. Not like you met a broad on Black and like hit that night and like
Nah, that's-
you don't even know her last name.
Yeah, she's not supposed to know where you live at. That's
Right.
number one. Let's look at
What? Why would you not tell them where you live?
Strangers?
Yeah, why? I mean, I know why women don't do it.
It's the same.
But
Same thing.
no, we don't have the same reason.
No,
I don't want to go outside. My car
Car
beat
gun.
up.
Yeah.
I mean, your spot when you in
They set you up.
So it's robbery.
It's a lot.
I'm not being.
See, that's the thing.
I like
Men-
my peace.
Yeah.
okay, I definitely understand.
I want my car to be where I
Like,
live.
Yeah.
I want my
Yeah.
front door to be on the hinge like I left it.
For the purposes of peace,
I got
yeah.
camera shit in the house.
But the initial thought,
That part.
Talk to me.
Shit.
it's totally
I
different.
got too much damn equipment,
It's
dog.
totally different though. The initial thought with a
Yeah.
woman for why you don't tell a man where you live is that you could be assaulted like that.
Understood. Completely.
So we look at that
Completely.
Women be on some bullshit too.
That's honestly, I've had this conversation with like several of my friends.
You know
I
some shit. You know
don't
some shit.
invite strangers to my home for that reason, right?
That makes
I
sense.
don't want to get robbed and I don't want to be assaulted. Those
Yeah.
are equally as real and they're equally as possible, right? But when I talk to men don't ever consider that they might get raped. It's always that
That's.
I mean, not.
I could get robbed.
I'm gonna get lined up.
Yeah, that's
What she gonna come in there on some bullshit?
You can get men can be raped too. Let's,
Yeah, but
let's
that's
keep
never
it a
your
buck.
initial thought.
But it's never the initial thought. The initial,
You said you go straight.
y'all gonna supposed to go with assault and something like that. We go for, oh, it's somebody following my car. I'm about to get lined up as soon as I
We
walk
look
in
at it
here.
differently, yeah.
I might be walking to the door with some niggas.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm looking at
My
the
first
line
thought
and
is
line
like,
me up.
I don't want to be assaulted. I don't know this nigga like
Right.
that. Your first thought is like, nah, nigga might try to run up in him. She might be trying to set me up. I'll our initial thoughts on why we don't tell people are different. The following reasons, like the things that go after that, I think that there's some alignment there. But my initial reason is like, because sexual assaults happen every day, and they usually happen with someone that you know.
And women should be careful.
And should speak up.
Absolutely.
Stop bringing
I
niggas
don't
to
get
your
offended.
house the first link off.
Yeah, I
No,
bet
I think that's weird.
And
I be thinking that's
Tinder,
weird. I'm
what's wrong
like,
with
you
you?
like, well, okay.
Nah, stop doing that too. That's
I
good
don't
advice for
need to know
y'all.
you, you know what
Stop
I'm
doing that. Stop telling people where you live off of like the first week of the link. Like you don't know them to do that. And guess what? As soon as you think a motherfucker would never, they get to nevering. So you don't ever, you don't ever want to assume that like, oh, this person like they don't seem like the type.
Look, they
That
said,
nigga is
look,
on
Ted Bundy did all that wild shit, and a lot of women were looking at him like, oh no, he too good looking to be a damn serial killer.
He was on
So
bullshit.
fuck all that.
You know what it is too though? 'Cause that's a good example. That's a good example for this reason. I think as a woman, right, it is very important to follow your instincts, right? And I say that because I remember seeing like, y'all remember that movie, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a scene in that movie.
She got caught up.
Right, she got caught up. There's a scene in the movie where the detective realizes exactly what's going on, right? So it's not a woman that's about to be the victim of a murder, it's the male detective. And there's a moment where he like gets in trouble, gets knocked out by this guy, and the killer says to him, like, you know what's odd about human behavior is that people never follow their first instinct. You knew when I got here that something was wrong. That maybe you shouldn't go in this house, that something was off, but you ignored your personal instincts to be polite. That is how Ted Bundy won with women.
Yeah.
He counted on
He was nice,
women.
he was charismatic.
He was nice, he was
He had
charismatic, he was
game.
nice looking.
I mean,
but more than that,
called him Riz.
yeah,
The
the kids would call it Riz. The kids would call it Riz. But more than that, what he won based off of was women ignoring their initial inkling, that initial
It
instinct.
didn't make them uncomfortable from the jump.
For
And he
a
also
desire to
didn't-
be polite.
And he also didn't look like the typical profile of somebody that would do some shit like that. He didn't look like John Wayne Gaines. He wasn't
Right.
fat and sloppy and shit.
And that's why they ignored those instincts, because he didn't look like a serial killer.
But with the Ted Bundy joint, one of the girls did catch that. Like,
They caught it.
He had the cast. I know about that story.
Yeah.
For
He
sure.
had the cast on. He's trying to like help me take my shit to my car.
There were some women
And
who
she,
got
like,
away.
She was like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, there were a couple of women who got away.
I ain't gonna
Who
lie.
are now
Shout out to
alive
that
and talking in those
He played that
documentaries.
motherfucking role.
All the women who ignored those instincts are no longer here, God rest their souls. So, but that's a key point, I think, in emotional intelligence. It's trusting yourself. It's trusting the God within yourself. If you know that something is off about this, and obviously we ain't calling these niggas no serial killers
Right,
or nothing
of
like
course
that. But when you meet somebody and you have that initial unction of the Holy Ghost, when you have that initial feeling that something is not right here, something about him is not right, the vibe is off, this does not feel the way it should feel, follow it.
Look,
That
every
protect you against your homies too.
Yeah.
A lot of niggas get killed by their homies.
By their friends.
I got a homie who did. He got locked up. Right. He did 10. Came home. I don't know you no more. Like we gotta learn each other.
That's a
Yeah.
fact.
For sure.
You know, he come home like, man, this nigga woo. I'm like, wow, you know what I'm saying?
That's a stint.
I met up with him in public. Like, you know,
Yeah.
No, you smart.
Yeah, that's smart.
You smart.
You know
Smart.
what I'm saying?
During the
Just to
daytime.
find out,
Cause you don't know what he
you
going.
hit me just to find out he was already plotting on me from the jump. Because I met a girl, well, I knew a girl that we both knew, right? Knew him and like, yeah, man, yeah, bro said he was going da-da-da-da if he seen you. I'm like, for real? I'm like, because just, but, man, I miss you, bro, da-da. You hear me? So my intuition like, nah, I don't know you no more.
Something ain't right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It ain't feel right. Now
Right.
I'm cool.
Look, every man, and maybe me as well. Every man in this room has had somebody, their father, their uncle, their OG, somebody older than them say, "Look, if it don't feel right, it ain't right."
Yeah.
And that's in any situation. You walk into a party, and it's like,
Every time I went against my gut feeling, I paid for it.
Exactly. Every time.
Every time.
No
Now,
question.
Like every time I get that feeling, I'm gone.
Yeah.
Like I'm
That's
like,
100%.
Or just don't leave the house.
That's the God within
Stay
you.
home.
Trust the
Save
God
money.
within yourself.
Stay home, bro.
That's right.
Gas $50 a tank, right?
Hey,
home.
for real, though.
Nah, for real. Trust the God within yourself. Like, trust your instincts. Like, because God put that there for a reason. And that's going to keep you out of a lot of trouble. And that's with everything. That's going to keep you out of a lot of bad business dealings with people who don't mean you no good, or people trying to take advantage of your talent and for just an opportunity that's meaningless. That's going to go with the relationships that you enter enter. That's gonna go with the friendships that you enter into. Like trusting your instinct, I think, is an important part of emotional intelligence. Because I think when you know who you are and you know who you are under God, it keeps you from making some bad decisions, right? There's no guidebook to being an adult. There's no guidebook on marriage. There's a lot of people coming out with books, and then people don't know shit. Like I'm telling you, like there's no real guidebook to living this life. You got to trust God and you got to trust yourself.
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? And you got to make good decisions based on your current experiences. Experiences create natural bias for a reason. There's a reason you've gone through the things that you've gone through, the reason that you've seen the things that you've seen. That negative or positive, you've encountered a certain kind of people in this life. It's meant to create emotional intelligence. It's meant for you to go through these experiences, to process them, and then to implement a better strategy so that if that was a negative experience, it doesn't happen to you again. But it's a lot of y'all that have been going through the same hell, meeting different partners in different bodies, meeting the same partner, I should say, in different bodies over and over and over again. You on your fifth Kevin.
It's a lot of Kevins.
It's a lot of Kevins. You gotta get to a point in your growth as a human being and your evolution as a human being where you start like listening to God so that he can start guiding your decisions. And if you doing that, he gonna guide everything else. You might not have found a partner that you want right now, but God got something for you. But you gotta trust those instincts first. And you gotta stop ignoring when you know something is not right.
Just go to therapy. Just go. I mean, even
Therapy's
if you don't pray,
helpful
even
too.
if you don't get, even if you're not religious, not spiritual, neither one of those,
Right.
go to fucking therapy.
Therapy.
Because if you say, oh yeah, nah,
Especially if you're not religious.
especially if you're not, like you said, that guy said he been single for 13 years or whatever. It's like
Weird.
it all can't be the women that you date, and at a certain point, it's got to be you, and you need to
sure.
figure that part out. Your forthcomers are gonna eventually make you on later in the future, but you got to learn what the fuck them forthcomers are and acknowledge that shit.
For sure.
Like my wife is a fucking mental health professional, and she pretty much says like a lot of these younger adults and even our age group, they don't consider accountability for shit. So it's always like, oh, it was them, they did this, so and so's person acted like this, but a lot of times it's you too. I mean, it's two sides of every coin. The clock is a broken clock is right two times a day. So it's like, look, at a certain point, you got to know that, okay, damn, I fucked up. It can't always be somebody else. And in regards to that, like you said, having those shortcomings, it's like if you know, like, all right, bet, I'm not fucking with homeboy no more because it sounds like he might set me up. He might line me up. You can't fuck with homeboy no more. We can't fuck with homeboy no more. But it's like, but if you didn't acknowledge that when he went in 10 years ago, he came out, he's still your man's 10 years later. It's like, all right, at a certain point, unfortunately, the worst could have happened. You got married, you got kids, and you don't want to bring that kind of energy around them either. Don't nobody want to be crying at nobody's funeral because you think a friend set you up.
For sure.
And that's exactly what.
And that happened recently in this area. I can't remember the guy's name. Basketball player got killed by his man in the car.
That's how you
Yeah.
It's harder. So the thing is this, dog. This how my uncles and them raised me in the street, bro. Like most times niggas get killed by somebody they know.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, you already know the enemy, bro. So you're not gonna let them get too close. It's always a nigga that you gonna have your guard down. The nigga that's gonna come pick you up, or you gonna pick him up. You ain't got your dog with you because you trust him.
You trust him.
Yeah. So you ain't thinking he on nothing. But the whole time, this the dude that's really trying to line you up for real. So I never looked at nobody that I knew didn't like me.
Yeah.
I know you don't like me, so I'm not gonna let you get nowhere near me.
Right.
Yeah.
But I gotta keep a close eye on these niggas that's with me every day.
Right.
Which is why now I be by myself. If I'm not by myself, I'm with my brothers, my blood brothers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
sure.
they ain't gonna snake me. You know what I'm saying?
Same.
Other than that, I'm cool.
Yeah.
I'm
Facts.
super cool, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got homies and all that, you know what I'm saying? I even got niggas through that's brothers through, you know what I'm saying? Like boys and stuff like that. Like I kick it with them, I know. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, dog, I'm cool.
But that's because everybody's
Niggas too friendly.
niggas is too friendly, but also niggas don't want to run.
Yeah.
Like I look at like I mean we all flight. What is it? Flight,
or flight.
flight, and there's a third one. It's like fuck. I don't remember that shit later. No, it's your no instance like for somebody got that dog to you. It's like all right, I'm gonna it's what's the term they call it? It's glazing. It's glazing, but it's something with an F. It's like it's fawning over. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You fawn over the person to make them more comfortable to the point where it's like, all right, I feel either sympathetic for you or guilty for you. Well, I'm not gonna pop your ass. And it's like nobody want to fawn over nobody because that make you pussy. Yeah. Nobody want to run because that make you pussy as well, and everybody want to fight. Yeah. People don't realize if your ass did not have, if human beings, not just anybody, male, female, I don't give a shit. If human beings did not have a fight or flight response, everybody out here on the planet be dead. Like it don't, and we be dead. The human race be wiped out a long fucking time ago. Because it's like, look, this saber-toothed tiger is gonna either kill my ass, I'm gonna run, or I'm gonna appease to this motherfucker.
Yeah.
So it's
listen, like we done seen some of them others. We ain't gonna talk about, but we done seen some of them others on Instagram treating bears like puppies. So it's a lot of people that still don't have that fight thing.
What's the sick in the roar thing? That tiger went tiger. Mm-hmm. Like I get it. Everybody thinks so shit is so cute and cuddly and all that shit. I'm like,
stop treating these wild animals like puppies, man.
The others, right? They cool with the bears, but scared of us. That's wild.
Yeah,
that is wild.
Yeah. We're so much more dangerous.
Like you see the old others with the pearls and all that. They get clutching their person. Like, you really think you stronger than me? If I wanted that, I can't take it. Brother. Like,
the facts too.
I ain't think about you.
Like I'm going to my dentist appointment. This happened to be in the same.
I swear. But you know what? I want to go back a little bit because I got a chance to ask Robin, but I'm curious, Mo, because like you are a consummate professional. You got a lot going on. Like you're doing some amazing things in your career. Like it's only gonna go up further. We don't care what the haters in the back say about you with the too tight sweatshirts on. You know what I'm saying? That they can rip us out of. We, you know what I'm saying? We ain't focused on that right now. When you look at kind of like what your goal is next 5 years, next 10 years, where you see a woman fitting into that, if at all?
Hopefully right there with me, supporting me, kind of like by the way he described what he have. I would love that.
Okay, so secondary question. And this is for everybody. Follow-up question. This is for everybody, right? I know for me, I think there was a point in life, which doesn't exist now, but I think there was a point in life where like it had to look a certain way as far as like what I wanted, right? I had like, and it wasn't like it was like got to be light skinned, green eyes, 6 feet. It wasn't like that. But it's just like,
it's fine.
It wasn't
you want to be 6 feet, homeboy from Rebel Ridge.
That's not
fine. True. You want to Aaron Pierre. It's okay.
Pierre's gorgeous, but
that's green eyes.
You piss me off when you say that like you don't know my ex wasn't dark skinned, but I don't know why you keep saying that. Keep saying that like you didn't see the pictures in the close friends. It's crazy. But I really do think like our vanity. Right. And I say that I think it happens to men and women a lot, right? Women, he got to be over 6 feet and he got to make this amount of money. And so it's not just a looks thing, right? It's like a criteria thing. Like, I think it should be a feeling. I think it should be a feeling overall.
They look different, but it'd be like how I feel.
Right.
But I've been told by some of my friends that I'm shallow.
Okay.
I don't agree with it.
That was honest.
Yeah, I'm just being honest.
Okay, fair enough.
But a look in your top 3?
How do you think, like, if at all, has like, let's say your shallowness, right? Because that's what your friends say about you.
Yeah.
Shallow, yeah.
Will you take the 10 with no personality before you take the 5 with a beautiful personality?
I like personality.
You bullshit.
So you'll take the 5? You take the 5 with no personality?
I'm going with
That's a no. So that's my point.
You take a 7.
Making my point.
Nah, 5.
Nah, 5.
5. With a beautiful personality.
You know what it is? I'm gonna be real with you, man. A lot of y'all missing y'all blessing because y'all want to date these fat bitches.
I'm going with the
That's true. What I say about talking to crows?
Fat bitches need love too, Craig.
I say that, right?
I'm sorry, Lord.
All right. I'll beat your ass on this camera. You know I hit niggas. Come on, man. Why you doing this to me on my show?
Fat bitches need love too, man.
You know I'll put his pimp hand out and slap you with it. So, real shit. Now, for real though, I think like men and women, a lot of what's stopping people in the modern age from finding like the right thing is vanity. It's like the shallow nature. When you guys look at, because y'all are the single ones, right? When you guys look at like kind of like where you are right now, this day, this moment, this minute, with regard to women in relationships, how much of an impact has like your focus on the look and not the feel? How has that impacted like the fact that you still ain't got nobody?
I don't like the way you work. I don't like the way you work.
That's why I said it like that. Answer my question.
I demand respect. I demand respect on the topic.
No. Answer the question.
Oh
You're single and lonely as shit. Why is that? Because I could have said it down like that. So now I'm going to say it the other way. That was the nicer way. You lonely as shit. Why? Not for real though. Like, how has that impacted like partnership for you?
I can be happy as a mother.
Are you though? No, I'm kidding. But seriously though, like when you look at like when you're talking about like significant partnership, right? Because there's a difference. Like there are levels to it, right? There's like dating, and then there's making something more exclusive with purpose, and then there's like committed relationships, and then there's engagements, and then there's marriage, and then there are being married for long periods of time, right? A marriage at 2 to 5 years looks different at 5 to 10 versus 15 to 20, right? So these are all levels. These are stages. So when you look at like the current stage that you're at, how has perhaps being shallow, perhaps being vain, in some instances, not in every instance, right? I ain't judging because I feel like I accidentally listed all the shit I like. So based on that, based on that, how do you feel like it's impacted you? I'm gonna start with you, Robin.
It's probably impacted me a little bit because I just feel like what I bring to the table isn't material wise. I know I pour myself into whatever I'm in, so I just feel like if they don't meet my energy or they don't meet me halfway, and it's with me, it's not like a 50-50 thing. It's just like if you see me like going all out for you type shit, and you're not doing the same thing for me, like of course I'm like, all right, bye, whatever, next. Like, and I know I've fallen fault to that kind of certain to a degree, so I'm kind of like trying to change my perspective and just look at things a little different. But just sometimes just like, well, she's not giving me the same energy, all right, bye, next.
Facts.
Like, but I think I kind of need to change that a little bit. So,
but how much of your like being willing to give that is impacted by how she looks?
right?
Because if there's are you giving? I'll put it to you like this.
I ain't gonna say it.
Let me ask the question a bit more clearly, right? I find often, this doesn't apply to me now for obvious reason, but I find in the past, if I wasn't as attracted to him, then if it went left for any reason, any little thing, I'd just be like, all right, I think I'm good off of this. You don't give the same chances and opportunity to somebody that you're not as attracted to.
That's true.
Right?
Come on, man.
Yeah, like I'm already working with you. Like I'm not bending no further than I've been.
It's crazy. Y'all niggas sound like y'all debating on carpet prices. Yo, I'm already working with you. It's wow.
Elaborate.
$50 off.
No.
As a husband, if we wrong and how we approaching it, tell us.
No, I think
Learn me.
I mean, look, we see visually before anything else. So I mean, it's definitely like, oh, you know, she pretty as hell. I might let this slide.
Right.
Or he good looking as fuck. I'm gonna let this slide. But at a certain point, it's only but so many things you gonna have to start let sliding before you slide yourself.
I like the way you worded that. But no, that was good. That's the kill because I think when you get to that point where it's like, I've already let all these things slide. That
What's
makes you
another?
even more mad.
Yeah, it makes you
like, damn, you ain't shit.
Yeah.
That's when it's like when the veil's like, you know what I'm saying, snap. You like, damn, you really a bad person.
Yeah, you really ain't shit.
Yeah.
You really ain't shit. Like
How far have you let things slide for you? Like when it came to somebody that was like, no, physically she fit everything. How much have you let slide, and how many regrets did you have after, if any?
to that uppercut connected.
Nah, I ain't never did that.
No, her uppercut.
Oh,
that's for you.
You trying to put a case on?
No, absolutely not.
No, but like when you look back at like kind of
You
your
say let
dating.
slide, what you mean?
So like when you look back at your dating experiences, right? There are going to be like some joints that are elite, and then there are some joints that's like, you know, she was great, but maybe she wasn't Rihanna, or maybe she wasn't, you know, whatever. How many times would you feel like I let some stuff go because she was bad, but I regretted that after?
I mean, I feel like you saying like how far? A lot of shit it just be like, but like the way I live is like I be so focused on my shit, like it take me to a certain point to start like really thinking back. Like, you weren't supporting me doing this, you weren't paying attention to this, you weren't. And that's when it hit me. But I be really like so fucked. Like every day I'm like focused on.
You work motivated.
Yeah, So it's like I probably do let a lot of shit slide, and I don't really be noticing it.
Fair enough. So like,
Shit.
based
But when
on
I
like,
notice it, I'm on bullshit.
so based on that, right? Like, because I've heard you say this several times, right? So I'm picking up what you're putting down.
the red-
Like,
the red
how
flags are green.
important is somebody who's supportive of your dream and like,
Yeah.
you know, because you're doing this full time. So
Yeah.
like, how important is the support? Because there's a difference between saying like, I'm like, what you do is great. I want you to have everything that you want, but I ain't really all that interested in it. Right? We can't sit down and have conversations. I don't want to really hear about these things. Versus like, how can I help you like get further in that?
I feel that if we being transparent, I kind of come from that already. So it's like I'm not necessarily used to the support all the way. So like that's why I was saying a second ago, like I might not even notice it because I'm used to that. But when I notice it, it's like I take it personally. But if the Jordan draft, I took that personally.
Got you.
And I'm on
Got you.
bullshit.
JR, how was like when you look at kind of like how you met your wife and how you guys built that situation, how important was that initial support in terms of like you're making the decision to say, you know what, I think I could marry this woman?
It was super important because for me, you know, being a creative and just, you know, being into photography and all that, I've always felt like that was my purpose.
Gotcha.
So if, you know, God forbid, if she wasn't supporting, or if she was just saying, oh, that's cool for you, I'm just going to be over here. If you weren't supporting my purpose, ain't no point of you being here.
That's a fact.
Like, because it's like, if I'm doing something that feel like that's God given, or, you know what I'm saying, God skilled, or, you know what I'm saying, I done worked,
Right.
you know, put in the 10,000 hours to get here, and you just like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Like-
Because somebody like
That
that, friend
shit
or
blows me.
relationship, they not even.
Yeah, it's not, you're not for
Because that's
you.
who you are.
Right.
You
And it's
feel-
like, okay, I mean, if that's how you feel, thanks. But I can find somebody else that's going to actually be supportive. Like, you be there. Like, on top of the photography stuff, I sell vintage clothing. So, yeah.
They told me that.
I did tell you that
never
last.
said
We had this conversation. Shut up. Anyway, so started this 2 years ago. I lost my job. I was unemployed for a month. I was selling stuff on eBay. My wife was like, "Yo, you should probably, you know, kick this in because it really kicked in." I was able to pay my rent and all that shit. This lady sat out with me in a hot ass sun, 90 degrees, 85 degrees through 2 summers, being pregnant.
A real woman.
Being pregnant, still sitting outside until, you know, she couldn't do that shit no more, feet swollen and all that. And you know what I'm saying? She did that. So it's like, I think that's what I had always looked for in a partner, but was never able to find until now. But I think it's also a blessing how I was able to find it I'm 33, so at 28, 29. Because I feel like if I'd have found it at 25 to 27, even to 28, prior to the pandemic, I probably would have squandered that shit and be like, all right, fuck it, I got her, we good.
That was
But I ain't had to do, but that's the thing, once you got her, it's like, oh, I ain't got to do nothing extra now. Or you feel like you ain't got to do nothing extra. So
That's
shit
a
start to
mistake a lot of
slip.
people make.
And a lot of people make that mistake. It's like, oh yeah, no, I finally got the girl that, you know what I'm saying, I've been waiting on. Or, you know
Women
what I'm
do
saying?
that too.
Women do that too. It's like, oh yeah, I finally
Then you
got
got
the
them and you
the
stop
woman.
fucking, you
Oh,
stop sucking, you stop cooking.
Yeah, you get comfortable in just
Get her pussy up on a daily,
You get
baby.
comfortable just being around each other.
You gotta do it. I'm just giving you some
Gotta
solid
keep-
advice here. Like, fuck, suck, and keep your nigga fed when he's yours. Now, if he ain't yours, I ain't advising none of that for these niggas that ain't yours. Y'all sharing all this community dick. No, I ain't advising that.
sandwich.
Yeah, none of this is.
Making daddy a sandwich.
Listen, like,
Nigga need a sandwich.
but
Making a
listen, like,
sandwich.
so
How you feel about
often,
the sandwich at 2 in the morning?
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Yeah, you fine with it?
Nah, one thing about me, like, and this any, like, my nigga will tell you, like, we ain't doing that. We sucking, fucking, and cooking on a daily. Cause you know what? The truth is, like, so many of you women, and I have such a problem with this. You want a man to pay your bills,
to kiss your
and to take care of your kids,
kiss your ass.
and kiss your ass, and you doing what you doing to get him to that point, but a sandwich is where you draw the line.
Yeah.
You sucking this nigga dick, he fucking you raw, all of the things he didn't put it in your butt, all the things. And a sandwich is where you draw the line. You should have drawn that line way sooner, sweetie bop. Don't think you're gonna be giving up all of that free pussy, and the sandwich is gonna be the thing to make him say, you know what? you're right. I should be a better man to you. You should have got that realization way before that sandwich conversation came up. The sandwich is not where you should be drawing the line. You should be drawing the line at what you're doing with your private parts. But a lot of y'all are giving up everything else in an effort to get him, and then in an effort to trick him into thinking that you're special. And then when he starts asking for the regular things, those are the things that you have a problem with doing. No, do the regular things first and put the pussy last, sweetheart.
Love is fucking blind. If I cook for your whole fucking family, or you cook for my whole fucking family, I shouldn't have to wash the goddamn dishes.
Facts.
When that shit
Partnership.
is over. That's the
50-50.
that shit should be
80-20,
that shit should be without me having to ask. Like, as that motherfucker said on Love is Blind, if I gotta ask you to do that shit, then this really ain't for you.
Partnership.
We're not gonna tit for tat shit, because that's when motherfuckers start really tallying up who doing what for motherfuckers.
That's the problem, though.
That's
People
the
keeping
problem.
score.
Y'all keeping score
Y'all
about certain
keeping
shit.
score.
It's
You
like,
need to
dog,
stop
if you
that.
really gave a fuck about this motherfucker, this woman, and this nigga and this bitch, you wouldn't think none of it. I'll sound terrible. I'm going to church tomorrow.
Me too.
If I sound terrible
Me
about
too.
doing this shit, it's like, look, if you really gave a fuck, this shit would just come second nature. Okay, I saw that they cooked for my whole goddamn family. Let me do something nice for them so they don't got to do all this extra
You
shit
know
when
what
it's
it
time
is,
to go to bed.
A lot of y'all.
That's common decency, exactly.
A lot of y'all are dating people that you don't actually like.
You don't like
You're
these niggas.
attracted to them.
You're a good-looking
You
nigga.
would sleep with them.
fucking-
You want to be seen with them. You
pretty.
don't fuck them, but you actually like this motherfucker.
really don't like
And
that
to be real, that's the real reason you're having such a hard time being a good partner, because you don't actually like this person. When you like somebody, and I ain't talking about love and all the things that go into a marriage. When you really like somebody, wanting to make them happy feels natural.
natural to you.
You want to, because you want to see them happy. But a lot of y'all are keeping score because you don't really like that motherfucker. But you gave up that coochie way too soon, or you started doing stuff way too soon, and now you need it to mean something. You need it to become something, because otherwise it would make you a whore, wouldn't it? And you would hate to admit to yourself that you out here being a hoe. So now that you've already given up all the things that you should have gave up last, you need this to mean something. So now you want to put parameters on all the basic shit that you should have been doing first. Put the sandwich first and put the pussy last, and you will have better luck.
Yeah,
That's the truth.
like,
Oh, do it all at the same time. Shit, I don't know. But don't keep putting these barriers on making this nigga a steak and some eggs when you never gave him the coochie. What is the difference?
I need that sandwich.
I need them eggs.
You'd be better off giving up the sandwich first.
I'm big on
Honestly,
sandwich, man.
you'd be much better off if you gave up the
Look,
sandwich
food
than
is,
you gave up
food
the
is a
coochie.
love. Cooking and food is a love language. I don't do shit with nobody. Like, if I can cook a full meal for you, one, don't be in the kitchen when I'm in the kitchen.
A smart woman, that's your best trick.
I'm having my Bobby Flay ass moment. Let me get my shit off. Don't stand by me while I'm trying to cut these onions.
That was
okay?
Emerald, but okay.
Shut the fuck
Tell this nigga don't watch
Yeah,
it.
but you,
I know what I know.
nigga, get culture, nigga. Come on,
Not
Google
for
shit.
For real.
But yeah, it's like,
Honestly, like, cooking is my love language. I do that
Absolutely.
first. That's the first thing. And honestly, when I was young, it was my best trick.
yep.
It's the best way to rope him in, right? And you ain't making all the stuff that all the other girls making. You leave the fettuccine to last and all of that. Like, I'm telling you, you go in there,
chicken
you go in there and
Alfredo.
roast a duck and see how you feel about that.
Roasting a duck.
Look.
Like,
Yo, that's yeah.
Look, I got that. Look, I done had.
men up and like,
Braised duck confit.
Look.
My first dish was always braised duck confit.
Look, I done
Ask
had
anybody.
this pork shoulder in the oven for 6 hours.
Just like a nigga. She recycle her meals.
Specialty.
There
Let
it
that
is.
shit rock, nigga.
Hold on. You know how women don't like if you with a girl and you take her out somewhere and then you need
That's taking you out.
take them out
That got nothing to
and
do
then you
with
take
the
them
grocery store.
Nah,
That
no.
never fuck-
Your go-to meal was the duck.
No, not my go-to. Just the first.
The
It's
first
always
no.
the first.
So if you meet a nigga today and that's you making them the duck the kung.
What if you say I've had better?
You making a nigga the duck.
That's never happened.
What if you say I've had better?
That's never happened.
I mean, niggas ain't even duck.
And honestly, when a
Niggas ain't
nigga like
duck
you,
like that.
it's really more the effort.
Yeah.
It is the
Yeah,
effort.
it's the
Look, I done
That's
had.
how you made that duck.
I don't want to know the
I'm
last time you
locked
made
in.
that. About you? Can you lock in?
She making duck every day. Duck.
But that should be the point. That should be the point. If you're doing the right shit in both instances,
Yeah.
you can get duck confit every day. Look,
Yeah.
I had a pork shoulder in the crib roasted for 6 hours on slow.
I'm telling you.
That motherfucker came out tender as shit. I was like, you know what? We eating tacos like a burrito tacos in my house.
For sure.
I'm like, yeah, you gotta show that kind of support and not want shit in return. That's the biggest thing. Y'all motherfuckers
Great
is
first
raised.
step.
Yeah.
Like somebody. Date people you actually like.
People you actually fucking like.
And I say the same for men though, right? There's a reason why it's so hard for some of these niggas. It's a lot of niggas who don't even want to take women on a date anymore. They want to take you to Starbucks and you buy your own coffee. They want to do a walk in the park. There's a lot. Like, we live in a culture of, like, there's nothing wrong with that. But there's a difference between, like, feeling like, no, I just want to be able to have a conversation with you first, versus I don't want to spend money on you. Those are different conversations. There is that's completely separate. You can say, okay, I just want to do something romantic. I just want to be able to spend some time with you somewhere quiet, somewhere that's just us. And that doesn't involve dinner or movie theater or whatever else. That's a different conversation from, I ain't spending money on this bitch because I don't know her like that. That's different. Because if that's the way that you feel, you shouldn't be dating. It's a lot of you niggas who love pussy but don't actually like women.
Get the shit off. Now go ahead.
And we need to start having that conversation. You like the sensation, but you don't actually want to talk to women. You don't actually want to spend time with women.
But these niggas can't talk.
That's true. A lot of y'all stupid.
A lot of you niggas. I'm not gonna call them stupid. I'm not gonna call you unintelligent. It's just that I know you will. But you niggas just can't talk. You don't know how to say something without bringing up some kind of innuendo. You don't have to sound like a freaky nigga, but you always sex is coming.
First conversation, you asked me the kind of porn I like. What's the matter with you, weirdo?
Just to kick it up. To be real, right? So one. You know, I just blame stupid niggas for being stupid.
True.
Yeah.
But the other half of that is women.
That's right.
Yeah.
You all set
for you.
Women set the standard.
For sure.
If
They doing
women
what you
said
allow.
we only dating niggas who read 15 books, niggas will read 15 books.
That's
If
fact.
women say we done with the drug dealers, we done with the trappers, we done with the rappers, we done with the niggas that don't want to take us out. You gonna get what you want. We do everything. Y'all control everything.
But
So
here's the thing,
if
right?
you're not making niggas take you out, they not gonna take you out.
Look,
The reality is, like, men do what you allow to a certain extent. Now, there are pockets within that conversation, right? Because there are some men who, even when you set a standard from the very beginning, they're not following that because it's 15 other bitches they could be fucking that don't require that of them. And they would rather deal with easy. And that's fine too. You let him deal with easy and you let him go about his business. But that's the truth. Like, a lot of what is happening to us as women is because we have allowed nonsense for so long. But also that's why I find the conversation of, like, women wanting money now to be so fascinating. Well, none of this, why I don't see why tricking is a problem, because, like, for years, like, women was giving you pussy and cooking and support and doing everything that you wanted and getting nothing out of that. So I do understand, like, not that I approve of it, not that I'm involved in it or whatever, but I do understand the concept of women getting tired of giving you coochie and getting nothing out of it. Yeah. Because for so long there were women who did all the things. She was supportive and she was an ear and she did give you money if you needed it when you ain't have it, and she was cooking and she was cleaning and packing lunches and all the things, and she still didn't get shit from you.
But you know how awkward of a conversation that is when a girl first asks you for money or something?
Nah, I don't. I've never asked a nigga for money.
I've been asking like it's a very, because you just looking at them like, what the fuck?
I can't relate to none of that. We know I'm getting to it, baby.
I don't think I've ever been asked.
I don't relate to that broke bitch shit. I don't know about that shit.
I pay for the meal.
Nah,
I pay for the meal.
This is my thing, bro. So, like, my wife ain't never asked me for money, even when we was dating, still to this day.
Yeah.
But it's just, for me, it was just something I wanted to do.
That I was about to say that part.
Think
Like,
about you, lunch on me.
I think a lot of women know that too.
Shoes that I like, I just bought them for you.
Because you have mine.
You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that. But, you know, I feel like with the whole tricking piece, right? If you paying for it, then it don't. I understand it, because, like, first of all, like you said, women ain't getting nothing out of the sex. They ain't even coming. So it's like they ain't even getting orgasms.
Yeah. Not even that.
But if you paying for it, right, it don't need to come with nothing else. This transaction is just what it is.
For sure.
Like,
Little baby, you pay him to
I
leave.
left the money on the dresser. Goodbye. Like, don't call me tomorrow.
Pay him to leave.
Like,
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? But I feel like dudes not giving women what they want out of the sex and all of that because they don't even know what to do. They using women as masturbation pieces.
For
They
sure.
don't know nothing about the woman.
Said something right
they
there.
don't explore the body. They don't know how to.
They don't. But you know what it is too? A lot of niggas really are fucking as many bitches as they say they fucking. The truth is though, you have never had a lot of repeats.
Yeah.
So you don't really know that you're not good at sex because you haven't slept
You
with
don't-
those
you don't
women
talk to
often
them- you don't
enough
talk to them no
have
more.
an honest conversation about
Yeah,
it.
That's the tell all right there. Because if you can't get it again, it was trash.
it's trash.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like, but
sure.
dudes' egos be so high. They're like, man, I hate this one, I hate that one, I hate that one.
Yeah.
Like, bro, and you ain't hit none of them twice.
Right.
They hit none of them. Not a single one of them women wants
What are we talking about?
None of them bitches
One no,
want to see
one
you
no
again.
repeat.
Yeah, you ain't get the double back. I
Right.
told one of my homies, young, true story, and he was pissed at me. He bragging, yeah, man, Shawty like that, man. Da, 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 da. I said, you want to know if you put it down for real? He like, what? I said, call her at 3 a.m, tell her you coming over.
Right.
I said, if she answer the phone without cussing you out until you come through, you good. If she don't answer the phone or she answers and she cuss you out, like who the hell you think you are?
Right.
You ain't do what you supposed to do.
No, that's not true.
You're not
That's
him.
not true.
Mm.
You might
ain't
cuss
him.
him out
Not him.
But
and still let him come over there.
mean,
So it's
some
not
people like
cussing
that shit,
don't.
man.
It's not the cussing.
yeah, that's what fun with
I'm
that.
saying that the accents. You know what I'm saying? Like
It's
you
a
getting
different-
cussed out and you
Right.
can't come. Like it's you ain't
Yeah,
supposed to do.
yeah.
Like 'cause she not missing out on that. She could be up at 3 o'clock in the morning in the sink.
Right.
Washing her stuff off, waiting for you to come in. Like, yeah.
That's very, very interesting. Ladies, get you a removable shower head. Don't be in the sink. Please grow up. Please grow up. Please grow up. Honestly,
That
please
shit
get you a
metal.
removable shower head. Home Depot got them bitches for $29.99. You can get off Amazon for $8. Get you a removable shower head. Don't be in the sink doing the whole bath. Please grow up. It's 2024. It's 2024. Her bath is so gauche. Like, it's gauche. Like, let's not do that. Like, get you a removable shower head. That's real.
That's a fire shit.
I've never heard anybody use the word gauche in proper text, and that worked. You smart.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm really good with words. I don't know.
What a shocker that I would
No,
come
I'm
up with
really good
something.
with words. I
Yeah.
get
I'm not in this.
I get it.
You're welcome.
Safety word.
Right.
No,
She took French class. It's fine.
I actually do speak fluent French.
There we go.
I do.
Hollywood.
I'm learning.
Rendez-moi mari tout de suite.
Oh shit, she's
You got
good.
the accent and all
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Pause.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know too much.
I'll get into the accents after the show. It's gonna sound weird if I say it out loud on this mic, but it's something that we weird. It's something that we did on the first two shows. I almost don't want to do it because Mo's a dick, but something that we did on the first show that you guys were on, and I think this is helpful because I think on the show where you guys were on it, I asked about like what is it that you wish your friends knew with regard to like kind of what your needs are, right?
Oh, yeah.
I think that this show, a great way to kind of close it out is if you could tell women, right, your wife, a girl you're dating, whatever, if you
No, we're not gonna do that.
no, we're not gonna do that. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. I like to lighten it up before I say this because it can get kind of serious. But in all honesty, right? When you look at kind of like your wife, the women that you're dating, the women that you find to be important to you, if there were 3 things that you think that they don't know about you as far as like what your emotional needs are, what would those 3 things be?
That's a good question.
I know. That's what I do.
3 things. Well, I would say the first thing is I'm really not as unapproachable as I might seem because I've heard like a lot of people that have either like come in contact with me or when they're getting to know me and we have the conversation of, you know what I'm saying, when I did approach you or I was around you, I didn't think that you would be the type of person that you are or you would be an open book that you are because I have gotten that kind of thing to where it's like you don't seem approachable. And other than that, I can't really think of anything other than like how can I put this? I'm not nonchalant. I am a caring person. It's just that I have a wall up just because of the things I may have gone through. So I am the type of person to where I need to see that you are actually worth me showing you my emotions. Like I'm not just cold for no reason. So that would be my biggest thing.
Okay, Don.
Like,
So my wife know all this already, but the first thing about me is I have a switch. Like I can either be super tapped into my emotions and give you all of that, but the moment I feel like it's taken for granted or you playing with me, it's off. And you know, it take a while to get it to come back on. That's one. Two, and this is something that, you know, I've gone to therapy for, but you know, I was a little sensitive thug, so it's like I was harsh with my words because I was so sensitive.
Right.
So you know, that comes from dealing with the trauma that I've dealt with. But like bro said, I don't went to therapy, you know, to work through that and unpack that trauma. So that's not really an issue as of late. And then the third one, I have a high sex drive, so as long as I'm getting it, I'm cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? But she knows that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's my thing.
Mo?
I would say for me, support, like we spoke on already, like if I don't feel like you support me, everything's with me is going to change to some degree because I feel like I'm not being taken serious. If you want to leave or if there's any, because you know some women are sport dating right now. So if I'm not into that,
You should have got into that.
Like if I'm being serious, if I'm being serious with you, hey, nah, we coming. If I'm being serious with you, like I'm very upfront with that. So if you want to play the field, please play the field. Because like I said, I got a million things on my mind. Like the word that they all use, trauma. Like we all been through some stuff. If I didn't explain that, if you want to keep playing that field, please get on the field. I give you the helmet. Like, handle your business. Leave me the fuck alone.
Leave me alone.
Right. And a third one would probably be appreciation. Like, once I think like my good deeds or anything is being unappreciated, like I lose respect. But like it's like through the trauma stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Makes sense. JL?
Just because I'm quiet during the conversation doesn't mean that I don't care. That's the biggest thing. And it also comes down to, you know, words of affirmation, the whole nine yards. So a lot of people need you to be verbal and need you to speak to kind of show how you feel in a situation. I have ADHD, so a lot of times when people speak or in terms of conflict or conflict resolution, my brain is constantly reeling about how, one, I'm going to approach you in terms of my response. So it may seem like a delay in speech or delay in communication, but that doesn't mean that I don't care about how you're feeling at the time. I can see you're upset. I can tell you're upset. We've had conversations back and forth and multiple times. So I know this affects you dearly. But don't look at it like, because I'm not saying anything, that I'm not just as offended as you are. Because being married, and Dawn knows this, when your wife is pissed about some shit, you pissed about some shit. Y'all are a unit. The whole house gonna be angry.
Whole house.
Not angry at each other, but you understand that, okay, if your wife don't like your homeboy, 10 years, let's say, 10 years homie, 10-year homie, don't trust that homie. You now don't trust, and she don't see it, and she see it before you do, because women's intuition, I think, is a lot stronger than men's in certain situations. If she say, oh yeah, no, maybe you shouldn't be around him, that's probably for your best benefit, but you sometimes may look at it like, oh nah, she just, you know, being jealous because my homeboy home and I'm out with him all the time. It's like, nah, she doing that to make sure, God forbid, you don't get lined up or get your babies hurt. So you know what I'm saying? And you got to look at it like it's all for your benefit and y'all's benefit, not just, oh yeah, no, I'm just doing this to get on my husband because he's outside. It's like, no, I'm doing this shit so my husband can make it home. And in a lot of those situations, we take a lot of that stuff for granted because we think, oh man, she nagging, she getting on my nerves and shit like that. And it's like, no, she sees more for you. She sees the next day. You see the next 15 minutes. And that's something we all got to take accountability for sure.
That was good.
What about you, man?
To close it out, 3 things I wish that men knew. I think the first thing is, like, don't confuse this public persona with who I am. You don't know me based on this show or that music or any of those things. Have a conversation with me.
I don't want to do that.
The second thing would be, I value communication above everything. Like I'm at a point in life where, like, how much money you have doesn't matter because I have my own.
Right.
Your accomplishments don't mean anything because I'm accomplished. The way that you look doesn't matter. It will change. Your height is irrelevant. I'm 5 feet. So, like, more than anything, like, your ability to, like, properly convey emotional intelligence is what matters the most to me. And the third is in line with that, right? Like, I equate your emotional intelligence with your ability to communicate. I've run across a lot of people in this life who would get so angry or get so emotional in the midst of, like, answering a question that it, like, prevents them from even answering the question. And so I think, like, those are the key things for me. And that's with every kind of relationship that I have. Those are my friendships. Those are who I'm dating. Like, it's important to have emotional intelligence to be able to communicate based off of that and to have a conversation with me before you assume how I'm seeing that particular situation or what my viewpoint on that is. It's been a great show today. I'm super glad you guys tuned in with us. We're going to let the guys do their outros, and then we're going to close it out. Robin?
Once again, my name's Young Robin. It's at YNGROBIN. Thank you again for having me on the show, Mia. It's appreciated to meet all of y'all as well. This is a good show. I hope to be back again.
Amen. Jay?
All right, what's up, everybody? Thank y'all so much for having me. Like I said, I'm Jay the Witness, at Jay the Witness on all social media platforms. This is a great and amazing podcast, so I hope to come back for part 3 if we do a part 3.
Mo?
My name is Mo, shot by MLB. Likewise, love being here with y'all. Great conversation as always. Mia's a great talker. You know, she swing too.
Don Rico, social media, Don Rico _ Don Rico _ same like everybody else. Gratitude for being on the show. You know, me and Mia know each other for a little minute, so it's always a pleasure, you know, working with her and chopping it up. She got a lot of jokes. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate the camaraderie amongst each other.
Too many damn things.
Come on, man. You know I only make jokes because I love you, man. If I don't talk about you, then you should be worried. But we appreciate y'all tuning in once again to the You Weren't There podcast. Again, I am your host, at Mia Was Here, 5_. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and follow the You Weren't There podcast on IG, on TikTok, and everywhere else. I appreciate you guys. God bless you guys, and I wish you the best with everything you got going on this week.
Peace.
You ain't 5 feet either.
I'm 5.